True, this is Anything Goes with Hugo Manning, and for today, Hannah Wall-Glenton. How are we all doing?
Hi, I am very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I thought I'd start with something quite novel. This is a song called Binatural Focus Drone. You listen to a song that's supposed to be at a frequency that makes you focus, so I thought we'd get everybody focused first of all.
It's going to be a high intellect show, they need your brains tuned in.
Surprisingly, it works quite well, so I'm going to just start us off with a nice little get into the mentality here. So this is Binatural Focus Drone by Sonic Brainwaves. Bet you've never heard this song before. Right, that was some binaural focus drone, just to get you in the frame of mind, just to get you into the vibe of the show. Starting off with a nice peaceful intro. Do you feel more at peace?
It's not the kind of thing I would listen to regularly, I have to admit. But yeah, perhaps it's kind of a subconscious focus kind of thing. You don't necessarily know, and then suddenly your day just goes a lot better having listened to it. Maybe it's one of those.
It's just a boom, stress relieved. Get on with your day. It's a focus relieving pill.
Yeah.
That's how stress works, right? Just
Definitely.
listen to a song. That's all you need to do. Got big problems with life? No worries. Listen to a song. Everything will be. Maybe it's a magic song.
Do you have a magic song?
A magic song?
Yeah, your go-to song if just the world is on fire. A song that puts everything right for about 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
For me, I think instead of relieving that stress, I kind of sink into it, just let the stress wave come over me.
Okay,
just go with it rather than trying to avoid it. I think that's my strategy. Do you have any stress avoidance strategies?
I think I'm just generally stressed quite a lot. I don't think I try and avoid it like you. I just kind of embrace it. If it gets really bad, I might put on some samba music and just dance until I feel a bit cheerier. Or Dancing in the Moonlight by Top Loader. Instant stress buster.
I think that's why I picked quite a lot of the songs today, because I know quite a lot of the lyrics. I know most of you guys won't know the lyrics. Knowing lyrics to a song and then just wailing them out is quite a big stress buster.
It's quite cathartic, I think.
Yeah. So we're also doing a bit of a retro rewind for some of these songs, because I've already played them in the history of the show. So maybe some people will be able to spot when I've played them. I was also proud going through some of my old shows. I reminded myself of how many of the famous songs, like artists and stuff, I was one of the earliest players of the song. So Billie Eilish, played her Bury a Friend, I think it was, like the day it came out, before it was like uber popular.
Oh really?
And then Feel It Still, who was that by?
Portugal the Man, is that what he's called?
Yeah, played played that song way, way, way before it became popular. It took like 2 weeks for it to kick off.
Oh, really? You do have good music taste, though, I think. Like, I'm always impressed. You manage to dig out these songs.
That's why people are here. They just want to... They don't want to listen to me talk, but they get that anyway. It's part of the... It's a pleasure-pain type of response, you know?
You get the music, but you also have to listen to the chit-chat.
Yeah. It's a bit of a fetish, I think. Not a sexual fetish, just a fetish.
You would describe yourself as a fetish. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what a listener response would be to that. I think after that you're going to have to play some more sonic brainwaves to de-stress all the listeners that you've now just upset.
I'm going to continue the show with a song called San Luis by Gregory Island Isakov. It was one of the old ones, and I still quite like it, so here you go. Here that song is.
Weightlessness, no gravity. Were we somewhere in between? I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view, San Luis. Oh, highway boys all sleeping out with their dirty mouths and broken strings. Other eyes are shining like the sea for you, the queen of San Luis. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view, San Luis. Cutting through the avenues, I'd always find my way to you. Beside the hook, the hammer lies. And fumbling round in the smoke, spending time chasing ghosts. Hold me down, child. Hold me down, child. California called you queen, with your golden hair and magazine. Were you somewhere in between, fast asleep, flying dream? I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view, San Luis. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view, San Luis. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view, San Luis. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view of San Luis.
Right then, that was San Luis by Gregory Alan Isakov. I quite enjoy that song. Hopefully the audience also liked that song. Unfortunately, Hannah wasn't able to listen to the song because of the way that we're communicating it. Yeah, it sounds nice through like little short sections. I think that's the best way to judge a song. Yeah, just if you can judge a song through snippets, like, and you enjoy all the little snippets, I think you can say that you've enjoyed the whole song.
Yeah, we could do that. That works.
I mean, that's how I get all these songs, right? I'm only listening to like, I don't know, probably 10% of a song to nail down to this list. Yeah.
You kind of sound like a music connoisseur, you know, like a wine connoisseur would sniff everything, swirl it around, drink it a bit, swirl it around some more, spit it out. That's kind of what you're doing with music.
Yeah, they don't call me the number one music podcast in Asia in the independent music category for nothing. It's Tastes Like Mine that enable me to get the award for best podcast in the indie music category in Singapore.
Is this an award you've received, or is it an award you've given yourself?
It's an award that the Mixcloud people gave to me when
oh, really?
I had at least 10 people listen to the podcast. And
amazing.
Boy, it blew them away. That category was very hotly contested. It was a big win for me.
Yeah.
No, we're actually doing surprisingly well on listener numbers, much higher than I ever anticipated. Really, I'm happy that one person listens, but it turns out I have at least two per show.
That's high numbers.
Which is
That's good.
Exciting. So yeah, hopefully it stays up. I mean, I don't gain anything from more listeners. It just, I guess it feels better when you have more people. I don't know why it feels any better. I guess, is it going to my head? Popularity, fame.
Fame is getting to you. You're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps. So far, you seem relatively grounded, which is good. You know, if we get to maybe 3-4 listeners, that could be when you start to get a bit wild. So we'll have to keep an eye out.
Yeah, I think if it gets up to 4 listeners, boy, I'll be uncontrollable.
That head is not going to fit through any door frames.
Yeah, I've been talking to somebody who's been managing influencers, and I had more of an opportunity to think about what an influencer is in life. And it's a very complicated type of person that actively wants to be an influencer. But then again, I'm kind of like, does everybody want to be an influencer?
So that's what I was thinking. As soon as you said that, I feel like everybody does in some way. Like, definitely politicians. And then if you think musicians, like, they quite often say, oh, you know, I'm just playing my guitar for myself. I don't want anyone to hear. But they don't really, do they? They'll get their guitar out at the campfire and they'll have a play. And they want people to enjoy it, which I suppose is influencing them in some ways.
Yeah.
Their emotions.
If you don't want to be famous, write to us. And tell us that you don't want to be famous. I feel like that's something that only somebody who wants to be famous would do, though.
I think so, yeah.
If you want to be famous, write to us. No, but it doesn't... We want the people who don't want to be famous to...
I'm not quite sure. But then I think if people didn't want to be famous, like you said, they wouldn't write into an award-winning podcast such as yours. Because if they get a mention, that's it.
Yeah.
Fame's through the roof. That could be dangerous.
Yeah, it's a real risk that they're running there.
Mm-hmm.
I need to come up with a... Because hashtag send a sound was just so effective. We've got so many sounds through. I think hashtag no famosity is gonna be trending tomorrow. I think she's frozen. While she thinks of that, I am going to play the next song, and hopefully we'll get her back. We're gonna play a song called Call It Dreaming by Iron and Wine. Here you go.
Say it's here where our pieces fall in place. Any rain softly kisses us on the face. Anywhere means we're running. We can sleep and see them coming. Where we drift and call it dreaming. We can weep and call it singing. Where we pray when our hearts are strong enough. We can bow 'cause our music's warmer than blood. Where we see enough to follow. We can hear when we are hollow. Where we keep the light we're given. We can lose and call it living. Where the sun isn't only sinking fast. Every night knows how long it's supposed to last. Where the time of our lives is all we have. And we get a chance to say before we ease away, for all the love you left behind, you can have mine. To betray, where our water isn't hidden, we can burn and be forgiven. Where our hands hurt from healing, we can laugh without a reason. 'Cause the sun isn't only sinking fast. Every moon in our bodies makes shining glass. Where the time of our lives is all we have, and we get a chance to say before we ease away, for all the love you left behind, you can have mine.
That was Iron and Wine with Call It Dreaming. I hope you enjoyed that. We've managed to get Hannah Ward Glenton back with us. She had to disappear off for a little bit. Her computer ran out of power.
Yeah, my computer ran out of battery.
That she wasn't prepared for this show. It's
just too much excitement. I'm not used to all of this having to think in lockdown. It's not really happening, so it's just a lot of technical know-how to try and process of a Saturday morning. But we're back. I've plugged in my charger. We are good to go.
It's fantastic news that you're back with us. I realised partially just now that we actually had some sounds through, so very excitingly, I thought we'd play a few of the sounds. So thank you very much to Richard Smith. Right, here we go. Oh, that was a good sound.
It's a good sound. I don't know what that is. So I think we've got a bit of a pigeon in the background. I think that's just background noise. I don't think the pigeon is the focal sound.
It sounds like he's put a squeaker toy for a dog, but it's a bit raspy for a squeaker toy. Normally, they sound a little bit more like squeaky. That was just... It's like a duck call.
It sounds more like squeezing an actual dog, I think. Maybe like a chihuahua or a really small dog, potentially.
I kind of feel like it's the sound of a weird bird, maybe like a puffin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining him out in the wilderness, going and finding a wild puffin or something of the equivalent size. Maybe like a kiwi bird. He's flown to New Zealand and found a kiwi bird. I think that's what we're hearing right there.
With a pigeon in the background. So I'm assuming they have pigeons, where they also have kiwi birds. I'm not quite sure. So it's either London or New Zealand. It's up for debate as to where the sound was taken.
I think this is the complication, because I know the sound was taken in sort of Devon area. So I feel like I can rule out kiwis.
Yeah, where
Probably
do puffins
also
live?
puffins. Probably also puffins. You can get puffins on the south coast. So where are you going? A score out of 10 for that sound.
I think that was a good sound. We had a lot of texture, we had different things, we didn't really know about location. I think that was a good mystery sound. That was a top quality one. I'd say 7.8 for that mystery sound.
Ooh, that's a strong score. That's a good strong score. I'm starting out the gates with a 6.7.
Okay.
I think that's a solid good sound, and it's a great start to what I'm trying to accomplish here.
The bar has been set high for sounds.
Right. We're gonna go with a song, because we've heard a sound. Now we're going to a song, and then we'll hear another sound after this song, which is called "Blue Sea, Red Sea" by Billy Martin. Here you go.
Stop and listen sometimes. Plug myself into your eyes, and I can see what you see, and I like it. I'm a fish in a blue sea, and I like it. Don't pick on me with your sympathy. I don't need you to love me. Listen to the people that say la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la. The snow is falling heavy. Wish my mother would come and get me. Forget all this makeup and fall in the Red Sea. Shed the weight of each day like the leaves of our oak tree. Don't pick on me with your sympathy. I don't need you to love me. Listen to the people that say la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, feel the bodies moving away. La 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 la, la la la, water pushes water away. La 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 la, and it's all good 'cause I feel it too. Hanging around with nothing to do. Make friends with the angel that
Oh, the song has now ended. Alright, welcome back everybody. That was Blue Sea, Red Sea by Billy Martin. We're gonna hear the next sound. I know you're all excited and ecstatic, waiting to hear what the next sound is. This is a sound sent in by Noel Clark. We've not pre-heard any of these sounds, so it might be a rude sound, so maybe preemptively don't listen, but come back in a few minutes if rude sounds offend you. We'll know then. Going back to Richard's sound, I believe I've identified what the sound is. I think it's a saxophone front bit that's taken off. I think it's
like the mouthpiece.
I think it's that. The mouthpiece, that's what it's called. I used the correct terminology earlier, but I didn't use it that time. Right, here's Noel's sound.
See, at first I thought like photocopier, but then I thought no, everyone's working from home and we don't really have photocopiers. And then there's that clicky bit that sounds...
I think we can get rid of the click. I think the click's not part of the sound. I'm happy to negotiate with that, but definitely points reduced because of the lack of clarity of the pure sound. But not too many. We'll still allow it.
I don't know, it's like a sound fusion. I quite like it. Comes as a package. You've got to accept it in its entirety, I think.
See, my first concern is that I sent in a request for a single sound, not a sequence of sounds.
I see.
But if how do you feel about identifying a sound as a single sound, but he's just played the same sound multiple times? Do you think it's an inanimate a property of a given thing? Like something that makes a specific sound, is that a property of the thing that makes the sound? Or is each individual sound its own sound?
That's difficult, because if you think of like a wolf, for example, when it howls, the whole howl is the noise, isn't it?
Yeah, but if he howls twice,
piece.
we're still classifying them as howls, right? They're not howl 1 and howl 2.
Very true. But I reckon this is a complete sound, what we've got here. I think this is just... I reckon it's a machine that does something, like printing, maybe it's a printer, and then it clicks through... It's a little bit
squeaky again. We've got another squeak. Here we go. Let's listen to it again. Ooh, that's a good... Ooh, I think you're pretty good with the printer. You're quite... That's quite an astute thought process. I'm liking it.
Maybe because I'm sat next to a printer and I was looking around my environment for inspiration. But I reckon quite an old printer. It sounds like there's quite a lot of movement in there. It's not a tight and efficient printer. It's one it's a bit rickety, perhaps, squeaking here and there.
I feel like the other thing it could be is like the rock of a chair. Like he's rocking from back and forth. But it's a little bit too melodic for that. It's got some sort of regularity to the sound as opposed to...
It's also quite fast for a rocking chair. Like you would really have to be giving it welly, I think, to rock at that pace.
So in conclusion, I think we have a good response to that you've come up with. I think printer is a good guess. Do you want to come up with a ranking of the sound?
It's just very difficult, isn't it? Because they're very different sounds. And then you thought this sound was a bit polluted because it wasn't necessarily just one sound. But then the first sound, I was sure there was a pigeon involved there.
Shall I go first with the rating? I'm giving it slightly less than the last one because of the lack of clarity. Still a great sound. Thank you very much, Noel, for sending it in. But I'm going to give it maybe a 6.5, maybe a 6.6. Yeah, a 6.6. That feels better. 6.5. No, I've gone back to 6.5. First selection, 6.5. It's a good rating. What do you think?
I think I'm going to give it the same score as the previous sound, which I think I gave a 7.8. I think they sit on the same level sound-wise. It's like trying to compare a curry and a pizza, two fantastic items that you just can't necessarily rank against each other. Okay, so 2 7/8s just because I enjoyed both of them equally. They've got my brain doing different kinds of gymnastics as to what it's been doing recently.
Okay. Well, we have one sound left, and we'll keep that for the next interlude of next after the next song. So once again, like last week, we're listening to a song because I feel like at one part the song substantially changes and goes from a good song to a song I really want to listen to. Do you do that, Hannah? Do you have like a song where you're like, yeah, it's a good song, but then you hear like a part of the song and you think, ooh,
you want more of
things.
that chunk of song. Definitely.
Yeah, that chunk changes things, and now it's a great song that I want to listen to. Do you feel like you do that?
I do, and then you kind of want a song sequel that's just that chunk, but an extended version. But that very rarely happens.
Well, see whether you can pick out of this song where that changes. It should be quite obvious, like I mentioned last week. But this is Graffiti by Royce Wood Jr. Royce Wood Jr. Let's just go with that.
The kind you prefer. You insisted on me. But you're raking holes in my last clemency. I'm a human only. I can be rejected.
graffiti by Royce Wood Jr.
Experience.
We've got the final sound coming in. We got a sound. This is one's from Kyle, who was a guest 2 weeks ago. So here we go. We're gonna play it. Okay, that was another modelled sound.
It was.
Crisp packets opening. Yeah.
I was thinking that, or it kind of sounds like the type of noise you'd make down the phone when you're trying to pretend that the signal's bad because you want to end the conversation, and then you kind of rustle something to the earpiece like a crisp packet. I think it was a bit too long for just opening, because that's, unless Kyle is a particularly bad crisp opener, which he could be, maybe, I don't know. Because usually it's a bit swifter than that, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like what he was doing was rummaging it rather than opening it. It could have been any sheeted plastic, really. But I think,
maybe he was kind of going into, he was diving into a multi-pack and trying to find the flavour that he wanted. But definitely a crisp vibe, for sure.
Because he's gone a bit meta with the show, because if you remember all the way back in show 1, there was a long conversation about crisp eating. So what I think he's done there is pulled that back from the memory banks of people, and just re-inspired the conversation to crisp buying. Which update on crisp buying? My parents have heard my addiction to crisps, and in response have decided to buy many more packets, and our entire cupboard is full of crisps.
Maybe if your parents thought they were dealing with an addict, which, you know, you might be a self-confessed crisp addict, I feel like then stocking the cupboard with the thing that person is addicted to could be considered insensitive. I mean, I don't feel like you do that with a heroin addict, but then, you know, Walker's crisps and heroin, two very different poisons, I guess. But
yeah, I just want to point out the pleasure that you get from just saying the word crisps. Like the what a pleasure that is in itself.
Crisps. Unless you've got a lisp, and then it might just be one of those words that really angers you whenever you have to say it.
Right, we're gonna play a new Glass Animals track that they created purely for the quarantine, and we've done so well up to this point of not mentioning the quarantine, but anyway, we've done it now. It's Glass Animals with Heart-Shaped Box. Here the song is.
She eyes me like a Pisces when I'm weak. I've been locked inside your heart-shaped box for weeks. I've been drawn into your magnetic trap. I wish I could eat your cancer when you turn black. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever and then to your priceless advice. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever and then to your priceless advice. Me eating orchids, forgive no one just yet. Cut myself on angel hair and baby's breath. Broken hymen of your highness, I'm left back. Throw down your umbilical noose so I can climb right back. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever and then to your priceless advice. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever and then to your priceless advice.
There we go. Welcome back to Anything Goes with Hannah Ward-Glenton today. That was Heart-Shaped Box by Glass Animals. And we forgot to rate the last sound. So, Hannah, do you want to lead off your rating?
I'm going to hit it with a 9. I really liked that sound. The first two, we had a bit of an amalgamation. We weren't quite sure what we had on our hands, whereas this one was a solid rustle, like a solid, couple of seconds of rustling. It could have been crisps, it could have been something else, but I like a clear-cut sound. That is what we got from that.
You're going with a 9.0, as the people in the ratings business would describe it as.
I'm scoring with great integrity and conscientiousness, I would say. What's your rating then, if mine's loosey-goosey?
I'm gonna go up with that one because, as we all know, the crisp fascination is real. So I'm gonna go with a 7.0. A 7.0.
See, I think you're being stingy. I think you're the Simon Cowell of Sam ratings.
Well, I mark on a normal distribution instead of a linear scale.
Okay.
So I rank as if there are more numbers closer to 5 than will be closer to 10. I think 10 is rarefied airspace. 5 would be your average, right? So our next song is going to be The Collar of Fur is its name, and it's by Flon Reagan.
Wear this crown of light for you on this August moon. Bring your voice of pearl to sing. Bring your lightning to collar of fur. Doors open onto the beach. Bring your hands to the coat. You went out and came back in, and went out again. Collar of fur. I got a bridge to light, leaving in the morning. Maybe I'll leave tonight. If you want, come with me on that bridge to light. Would you call of fur? Wear this crown of light for you on this August moon.
Welcome back, everybody, to Anything Goes with Hugo Manning and Hannah Ward-Glenton.
Hello.
I don't know why I always go with full names. It always seems more apropos. Is that the word?
Apropos? No, that's not appropriate. I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but my name's quite cumbersome. It's not sharp and snappy, it's quite a few syllables. So it's a bit of a faff.
Well,
really,
you
isn't
got
it?
that double barrel in there. Really
I have got a cheeky double
skewing
barrel
everything.
that makes things a bit lengthier.
Just pick one. Or mash them. Just mash them together.
Hannah Wenton. I don't know. I'm not really feeling that.
Well, that's what people, newlyweds are doing, right? They're mashing things together.
Are they?
Yeah, I've heard that that's a popular way, so everybody gets equality.
But then you can just double barrel. Your name gets quite long, or Hannah Wonton. That works.
I think we've solved some problems here. We've created new ones, but we've also solved some.
Warbling on.
Right. I notice going through these things that every time I want to play a song, before I do that, I say, right, here we go. There's the song. It's just every time I go, right. Just, I guess it interrupts the thought process, and we can then insert a song. But I'm going to smoothly transition through into the song from here. This is Venus by Wesley. There you go. Venus by Wesley.
All this distance between us, you're from Mars and from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it.
All this distance between us. I'm from Mars, you're from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it.
I don't need a prince on a white horse. I don't need a dude with a white Porsche. You just gotta rap when the going gets tough. You be saying things you can take back. I retaliate and you hate that, but I hope that we can overcome this. He said, she said, reset or regret. Don't ride this wave, but we'll get seasick. We're somewhere close, but not the end yet. Can you feel it? All this distance between us. You're from Mars, I'm from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it. All this distance between us. You're from Mars, I'm from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it.
I just gotta fight with a damn shame. We be going flat as champagne, waiting for the calm cause I'm over the storm. Why we gotta do it the hard way? Tell me how you feel, don't be blasé. I know the words on the tip of your tongue. Not this. He said, she said, we said a read. Don't ride this way or we'll get seasick. We're somewhere close but not the end yet. Can you feel it? All this distance between us. I'm from Mars, you're from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it. All this distance between us. I'm from Mars, you're from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it.
Now we've reached a point that we just can't ignore. We both know the end is what we're headed for. Nowhere we can go back how we were before. Maybe this is the closest that we can be.
All this distance between us. I'm from Mars, you're from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it.
All this distance between us. You're from Mars and from Venus. We've been deep in our feelings, saying things we don't mean it.
It's quite
Right,
interesting.
well, we're back from the song, and the song was Venus by Wesley, who I can now pronounce the name of. And we've just learned all about what Hannah has got up to with her professional life.
My professional
life.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, she sounds like she's doing fantastic work in the financial marketing arena. So if anybody needs a financial marketing publicist, okay. Here's my problem with the news at the moment: is how long before I can hear news that isn't about the coronavirus? Because I'm already bored. And eventually news stops being news. Like, when does another couple of hundred people getting coronavirus stop being all that interesting to people and we can go back to normal news?
See, this is the thing. We don't usually do news content, so we usually do maybe nostalgic pieces or maybe some historic pieces or all sorts of different stuff. But their main interest at the moment is coronavirus because that's what people have an appetite for. So it makes it very difficult to pitch anything that isn't coronavirus related because it's just not popular. So sadly, you are in the minority in wanting stuff that isn't coronavirus related, which makes it a bit difficult.
Like, surely there's still things happening in the world that are important for me and everybody else in the world to know about.
Yeah, I think that's just my mum.
Hi, Hannah's mom. You can't hear me. Tell her I said hi. What are you doing? You heathen.
I will do. No, she was just going past. Hugo says hello. Mum says hello, Hugo.
Well, I'm glad we sorted that out, because what sort of a heathen, upon hearing that I said hello to her, doesn't then send that message through? Jeez. Oh.
Makes me a terrible person. Well, yeah. I don't know. I didn't know if you wanted to include Mum in the podcast, but I think she's a fantastic addition, so throw her in if you fancy it. But, yeah, no, it is interesting because everything is about coronavirus, and to be honest, I've got to the point where I miss Brexit, which I never thought would happen.
We're gonna move swiftly forwards to the next song, which is Sedona by Houndmouth, one of an all-time favourite. Here it is.
Red sandstone it fell. Right smack on top of Sedona Arabelle. When John Ford said, won't you hop on into the stagecoach, baby, gonna take you for a spin, oh, oh. your credit's no good. You flipped the script and you shot the plot. And I remember when your neon used to burn so bright and pink, so bright and pink. A Saturday night kind of pink.
Right then, welcome back to Anything Goes. That was Sedona by Houndmouth.
Do you want to have like a quick conversation to kind of tack in somewhere? Like a quick theme, like a quick fire?
Yeah, a quick conversation. A QQ, as they call it amongst friend groups somewhere. a QQ. Hashtag QQ. I'm really getting these hashtags involved.
There are so many hashtags, it's quite a lot. Have you taken up any lockdown hobbies? Are there any skills you're hoping to master during the coronavirus lockdown?
So that's a very good question. One that I might have asked you as the host, but now you've asked me, I think that's a very good question. No, I think I haven't really picked up any new hobbies, and to be honest, I'm not even doing the old hobbies that I used to enjoy. I don't know what I'm doing during this. I think I'm doing a lot of work, which helps, and then I'm also watching a lot of TV when I'm not working. So in terms of hobbies, no. I guess this podcast is my only thing that I'm really doing besides. What about you?
So dancing is my main hobby. That's obviously how we met, and I've continued dancing after uni, which is great fun. But ballroom and Latin dancing, you kind of need a partner. It's one of those ones where it is a bit odd. I'm practicing by myself. I train with my partner over FaceTime. We do kind of have classes together via FaceTime, which is very odd. And actually it's a bit depressing because it's nothing like the real thing, and it makes me a bit sad. So, kind of in response to that, I've also kind of taken up martial arts a little bit, which has been an interesting development in my life. Yeah,
is that
it's been
mainly
good.
to do with the fact that you've been annoyed with some of your sister's actions, maybe? Have you been taking up practical martial arts as opposed to the more theoretical side?
I think what you're insinuating is that I'm beating up my sister, and for the sake of legal purposes, I'd like to stress that is not the case. No, it is very much me by myself with a person on the laptop telling me how to punch things and roundhouse things and who knows what things. And it's great fun. It's really good fun. I don't have a punching bag or anything like that. Just me, the instructor. We just hit things together. We just punch air together, and it's great. I would thoroughly recommend it. Name for them.
Well, I hope you are winning your imaginary fights anyway. If you're
Definitely.
even if you're
Every
not
time.
winning your
Smashing
real
it.
battles. We're gonna play a song. It's called "Sending Me Your Loving" by the Jungle Giants. Here it is.
Make space, 'cause I'm a coming. You can ride along if you want, babe. So far, you've been stumbling. That's alright, it's all a part of it. Phone's been blowing up ever since we went underground. You know, I know. Now we're making moves, only love is new. Love is new, love is new. Now we're making moves, only love is new. Love is new, love is new. You must be sending me your loving. Oh, 'cause I feel it all over. There's nothing left to say, girl. Oh, you're my four-leaf clover. You must be sending me your loving. Oh, 'cause I feel it all over. There's nothing left to say, girl. Oh, you're my four-leaf clover. Make space, push and shove it. I make my way must be sending me your loving. Oh, 'cause I feel it all over. There's nothing left to say, girl. Oh, you're my four-leaf clover. You must be sending me your loving. Oh, 'cause I feel it all over. There's nothing left to say, girl. Oh, you're my four-leaf clover. Lovers do, lovers do. Now we're making moves, only lovers do. Lovers do, lovers do. You must be sending me your loving. Oh, 'cause I feel it all over. There's nothing left to say, girl. Oh, you're my four-leaf clover. Make space, 'cause I'm a coming. Make space, 'cause I'm a coming.
That was Sending Me Your Loving by the Jungle Giants. I hope you enjoyed listening to that song. It's a brand new song out from the Jungle Giants, actually. It came out not too long ago, so maybe go and check out. They've got an entire album out, if you were interested. Did you prepare questions?
Maybe. You know
I
how
guess-
I do
I
a
guess
radio
that's-
show, Hugo, you've seen it. I mean, I haven't written out a script, which would be my usual
Yeah,
style.
that's your go-to. That's your go-to. I'm
That is my-
actually. That's a good question. I'm looking for a producer. Do you want to come in on a weekly basis as a producer?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Am
who
I
else am I
capable?
talking to? I'm not going to ask very much of you. I'm not even sure what a producer does, as described last week. I'm really not sure what a producer does. But if you wanted to do it, I'd be happy to let you do it.
I'd be very keen to do it. If we'd have to kind of assess what the job role would actually entail. But I'd be quite
What would
happy
you like
to
to
do it.
do as a producer? What would you like to do as a producer? Because I don't want to make you do anything you don't want to do as a producer.
Well, I suppose it depends what you... So typically a producer would kind of guide things, wouldn't they? But then it's your show, so I don't want to... I
Well,
don't
you
know.
could help guide. You could help guide. I'm happy with you helping me guide. Maybe. I mean, the show definitely needs guidance, but that presumes that we have topics in advance to move to.
Yeah, I suppose it would also be if, I don't know, if things are getting a bit rambly, then a producer would be like, wrap things up a bit, talk about something
I think
else.
that could be good. I think somebody who's got like a clicker where they're like, end this conversation now. That might be useful.
I can do that. I can butt in.
Wrap it up, like a wrap it up kind of thing. Or just somebody with words of encouragement, like, God, you guys are doing great in there.
Yeah. Like we have a group
yeah.
chat and I can produce via the group chat.
Yeah. Oh, you'd be in the call, directing things. I don't know. You see, this is the thing. I don't know what parts could be directed, but I feel like it would benefit from a producer. I don't know how.
I'm more than happy
but
to
I
give
feel
it a
like
bash.
would.
That sounds fun. If you think I would be a suitable candidate,
You'd be more than suitable.
I can send you my
Anybody who's
CV
willing
if you'd
to
like.
do it.
Other features.
Yeah,
Sounds
maybe
a
a
good
segment. Maybe we could do a segment every week where you could have 5 minutes of I don't know, a topic of your conversation. You could produce like a section where you'd be like talking about sloths or something, where you tell us everything there is to know about sloths. You could take us on remote, so you could do a remote. You could go and visit a park, and then you could just describe what's happening in the park for for like 5 minutes.
That could be fun. I also have some foreign friends who I could chat to about. We could bring on about their situation.
Great,
in their
we can have
countries.
some foreign correspondence. That would be great.
That would be cool.
That would be fun. Some good ideas here. Some damn good ideas. Should we go with a song? Should we
Let's
go
go
with
with a song. Yeah, let's do that.
While we wait. Right. This is a song. It's called "Time" with brackets. You and I by Karingbin. Here you go.
That's like if we had more time, we could live forever. Just you and I, we could be together. That's life. If we had more time, we could live forever.
Okay. So I've got a question for you, Hugo. If you could choose a lockdown household, who would be in it? If you had to pick, you could pick who you were going to self-isolate with. They can be dead, alive, animal, human. Let's say 5. You're one of the 5. 4 other people in your ideal lockdown household. Who do you reckon?
Well, I mean, I'm going with my parents. Currently locked down with them, and they're going to listen to this, so I'd probably have to tick 2 off a list. In terms of other people, so I've got another 2 to mess with. Do I want somebody inspirational? I think I want somebody else lazy who's going to be like kind of just happy to go along with it.
Yeah.
I don't know any famous lazy people.
I don't know, because I suppose if they were lazy, they probably wouldn't be famous, would they? It takes some effort to be famous.
And then I guess if I was to go down the Friends route, like, I'd be upsetting Friends, regardless, if I've only got to pick 2. So I guess one of the friends I would have, I'd probably invite one of my good friends from when I used to know him from Shanghai. He's now lives in Australia. I'm not sure how long I would want to be cooped up with him for, but I think that it'd be just nice to catch up with him anyway.
But this is, being stuck for an indefinite amount of time with this person.
Period of time. Somebody's going to help me learn something.
What about Louis Theroux? I think I'd have Louis Theroux in my lockdown house.
That's such a good choice. He's done a lot.
He's got a podcast out at the moment, actually, and not
David
to endorse
Attenborough.
other podcasts, because obviously I doubt very much that he's got the accolades of best indie
you're allowed to
Asian
endorse
podcast.
other podcasts.
He's so
You're
good,
allowed
it's
to,
so
yeah.
good. I laughed out loud as I was just walking along the road. Looked like a complete weirdo, but we love a bit of Louis Theroux, so he'd be in my house for sure. Maybe just 4 of him, watching them interact with each other.
That's such a good choice. I mean, as I said, David Attenborough would be a good one, I think.
Oh, that would be nice.
Then, Richard Ayoade would be a weird addition. David Mitchell.
Good.
I mean, I'm just naming my favorite people to watch on TV. They might not be very nice people in reality, but I kind of get the idea that they probably would be. I had a good one in the back of my... Bill Gates. Bill Gates would probably be pretty lush to hang with.
He'd be quite interesting. I think he'd have a lot of philosophy to share with you. A lot of different predictions as well. He predicted the coronavirus, so you could chat to him about the future of the world. That would be interesting.
Yeah, and then
Or who do you not want to be stuck with?
4 Louis Theroux.
Potentially
I
4
don't know,
Louis Theroux.
Anybody who has... I think anybody who's been on Love Island, I think I can cancel them off.
Yeah,
I don't think I need to hang with any of them.
Probably not for me.
Nothing against the people from Love Island. I know they have a rough time once they leave Love Island because of the way that they get portrayed on that show. So I'm not sure they're all like that. So maybe I don't want to exclude them in general. Yeah. So who wouldn't you have?
I mean, you've got obvious choices, haven't you? You've got like your Donald Trumps, your Katie Hopkins. I would not like to be stuck with them. I can think of some people on a more personal level, but again, not going to name and shame on a podcast. That's not very polite. So we'll stick with celebrities. I don't know. Yeah, probably people with no concept of personal space, because they just come and pest you all the time. And you don't need that during lockdown, I don't think. It's nice to hang out with people, have a hug every now and again, but... So yeah, no conclusive answer to my own question, as per usual, but...
Yeah, maybe controversially, I think I'd be okay with being with Donald Trump. I actually find him very, very interesting.
Interesting. A good actor.
Surely he's not as bad as his public persona makes him out to be. Because, to be fair, I don't want, like, the news media can warp a picture in any way that they want.
This is true, but then when you see videos of him speaking that are just purely videos of him speaking... Oh, we're risking going down a political angle again now, aren't we?
Maybe he's just a nervous speaker. And so he just gets all flustered and just says the wrong things.
It happens to us all, doesn't it?
It happens to a lot of people. I think we'll move into some music now. How about that? So coming up now is a song called No Lie by Sean Paul and Dua Lipa.
Feel your eyes, they all over me. Don't be shy, take control of me. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Baby girl, you give me 10 ton of fatness, give me some of that. Thinks with the badness, look how she at. Shape like a death, but I'm not just that. It's a good piece of mentals under the cap. A piece of game, I'm love how you chat. Watching every step of the paper, the way you got. Staying in my brain, memory not detached. Mainly my aim is to give it this love. If not, dig the way you move. Let me acknowledge the way you do. Then I would not lie, baby. You beat me up like I did. It's how hypnotic the way you move. It's why I wanted to get to you. And I would not like a baby. You moves how hypnotic.
No lie,
Girl, you never meant to.
feel your eyes, they all over me. Don't be shy, take control of me. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Girl, you never
No
meant.
lie, hypnotized, pull another one. It's alright, I know what you want. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Girl, we never
No
meant. Girl, we never meant.
lie,
Same so we do it.
no lie,
So we say do it.
no lie.
Same so we do it.
It's gonna be lit tonight.
Put a bang
No
on.
lie,
Same so we do it.
no lie.
So we say do it.
No lie,
Same so we do it.
it's gonna be lit tonight.
Put a bang
No
on.
lie,
I'm so lit, my girl. So let me say you roll it, my girl. You love it when you bend and roll it. Now let me bone it and let me own it, my girl. If you want the style that I have mastered, I say what baby girl, that's my word. Give it the good loving that is preferred. You deserve it, so don't be scared. It's hypnotic the way you move. Let me acknowledge the way you do. Then I would not lie, baby. You beat me up like I did. It's how hypnotic the way you move. It's why I wanted to get to you. And I would not like a baby. You moves how hypnotic.
no
Girl, you never
lie.
meant.
Feel your eyes, they all over me. Don't be shy, take control of me. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Girl, you never
No
meant.
lie, hypnotized, pull another one. It's alright, I know what you want. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Girl, we never
No
meant. Girl, we never meant. Same so we do it.
No lie,
So we say do it.
no lie.
Same so we do it.
It's gonna be lit tonight.
Put a bang
No
on.
lie,
Same so we do it.
no lie.
So we say do it.
No lie,
Same so we do it.
it's gonna be lit tonight.
Put a bang on. Shake that body, let me see you just do it. Get them 100%. Move that body, let me see you just do it. Girl, go and represent. Shake that body, let me see you just do it to the fullest extent. Move that body, let me see you just do it. Girl, you're magnificent.
Feel your eyes, they all over me. Don't be shy, take control of me. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Girl, you never
No
meant.
lie, hypnotized, pull another one. It's alright, I know what you want. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Girl, we never
No
meant. Girl, we never meant.
lie,
Same so we do it.
no lie,
So we say do it.
no lie.
Same so we do it.
It's gonna be lit tonight.
Put a bang
No
on.
lie,
Same so we do it.
no lie.
So we say do it.
No lie,
Same so we do it.
it's gonna be lit tonight.
Put a bang
No
on.
lie.
Welcome back, everybody, to Anything Goes with Hugo Manning and Hannah Ward-Glenton. We're about to leave you guys with our last song. It's Tamakun by Rodrigo and Gabriela. It's a kind of a jazzy guitar metal type thing. It's instrumental, so I've left it to the end because most people don't like instrumental stuff. I must admit, I'm not always into instrumental. How do you feel about instrumentals?
I quite like them. Sometimes, if I'm in a really, really sad mood, this sounds really depressing, I'm just not in the mood for listening to songs with words. So I just listen to
Oh.
songs without words. It's quite a depressing note to end on, isn't it? But there we go. Maybe
Yeah.
this is a really happy instrumental. They're not all miserable. Maybe it's a chirpy
No,
one.
it's-
I don't know
it's-
what you've got lined up for us, Hugo.
It's quite a novel one. They're quite good at playing the guitar. Right, well, here we go. We're going to leave you guys on this, and Hannah and I will see each other again soon, I'm sure.